So today we're going to talk about the application of sketchnotes. You should already have done your icons and your containers and submitted those. If you didn't, shame on you. That was an easy grade. All right, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to set up a Notability document, and it's going to be called What Fear Can Teach Us, because that's the name of our article we're going to do some practicing with on our sketchnote application. All right, so now that we've done that, you can get the article, What Fear Can Teach Us, and you can download it from my North side. I already have mine, and I'm going to just go ahead and open that up. So I'm going to go to my other article. So you can do this one of two ways. You can do this as a split screen. You can print that article out if you want to. It's really up to you. So we've got our title here, and I'm just gonna write it again. What fear can teach us, so that I've got my document ready to go. All right, so we're gonna actually we're gonna read the gray part here. This part right here, we're gonna go ahead and read at the top, but we're not going to do anything with that. We're just going to look at the intro. It says, Karen Thompson Walker is an American writer and the author of The Age of Miracles. In this TED Talk, Walker discusses the connection between stories and fear and explains how fear influences the decisions we make. Walker uses the experiences of the sailors of the whale ship Essex to further explore the effects of fear on decision making. As you read, take notes on the positive and negative effects of listening to fears. So we're not going to take notes on that. What we're going to take notes on is we're going to use our sketchnoting as we go through. Now, sketchnoting, a couple of things. It's not about how well you draw. Keep that in mind. It is about capturing the ideas of what you read so effectively that when I look back at my sketch notes, I can retell what it is that I've read. You can do the same thing for a lecture. That's what we saw was she was explaining. She could go back and she could remember the meetings. She could remember the lectures based on what she had drawn. So we're going to start with paragraph 1, and we're just going to put P1 for paragraph 1, okay? And I'm just going to go ahead and read it, and then I'm going to do some sketch notes for it. I'm going to draw pictures, give myself some ideas of things so that I can remember what it is exactly that I read in paragraph 1. So it says, one day in 1819, 3,000 miles off the coast of Chile, in one of the most remote regions in the Pacific Ocean, 20 American sailors watched their ship flood with seawater. They'd been struck by a sperm whale, which had ripped a catastrophic hole in the ship's hull. As their ship began to sink beneath the swells, the men huddled together in 3 small whaleboats. All right, so I'm going to stop there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a container. It's just going to simply be like this. And it's going to say SX, because I just want to know that that's an important part of this story. And it's also going to say 1819. Okay, that's going to be the first part of that. All right, and then I'm going to have a boat. Maybe I'll use brown. I have a boat, and that boat is going to be broken here, and I'm going to draw a whale so that I know that a whale was what caused that. That's my whale. Caused that to happen, okay? And because that whale had struck there, it ripped a catastrophic hole, and we have men huddled in 3 small boats. So now I'm going to do 3 small boats. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I'm going to have my men huddled. Men huddled. Men huddled. Men huddled. Here they are. They're all huddled together in there. All right. And I'm going to continue reading. These men were 10,000 miles from home, more than 1,000 miles from the nearest scrap of land. In their small boats, they carried only rudimentary navigational equipment and limited supplies of food and water. These were the men of the whale ship Essex, whose story would later inspire parts of Moby Dick. All right, so interesting. I'm going to add a book here. Okay, because these are the people that inspired the story of Moby Dick. So I'm going to put that down there so that I've got this inspiration, okay? And then I'm going to have, I'm going to put over here, I think that this is important. They were here with very limited supplies. This is dangerous, okay? Okay, and any other things I might add in here that might help me to recall this first paragraph. All right, so now when I look back at this, I ought to be able to retell this story based on what I wrote in my sketch notes. All right, so what you're going to do next is you're going to go through the next paragraphs. You're going to put P2, and you're going to do the next paragraph yourself, and then P3, and so on. All right, happy sketchnoting. When you finish, make sure you upload it to my Northside.